What's good? What's good, family? What's good with it? I'm back again. E3 was good, bro. I had to spin the block one more time, man. It's just I'm in one of them moves. So, and what's good with it, bro? Appreciate you for sliding back through again with your boy. But in the words of my sis Quee, I got something to say. A little something to talk about, man. And I already gave my post-fight thoughts. I think Danny Garcia did his thing. Given the circumstances, the opponent, etc., what he battled outside the ring, mentally and physically. I think that was the longest break that Danny Garcia had since becoming a professional. So I think the 19 months off definitely did him some good. So, us boxing fans, as soon as we see you fight, we our immediate question, like, so what's next? Not that we don't appreciate what you just did or, the performance you just put on. We appreciate it, but, at the same time, we want to know what's next. It's only reasonable to think, it's only realistic to think about what's next for Danny Garcia. And, we did hear him mention the possibility. He said he wanted a rematch with Spence at 54. I think that'd be all wrong. That'd be a big mistake for him because I feel like that fight was just, he wasn't 100%. We know without a doubt Spence wasn't 100%, whether it been mentally or physically. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was in. We can tell he wasn't right all the way coming from a car crash. So why I'm kind of not in favor of a Spence rematch is because when we seen it at 47, we seen how dominant the win was for EJ, and he wasn't even 70% of himself. You know what I mean? How he was half of what he normally is in that ring. You know what I mean? If that. So with that being said, if that version of Errol Spence was able to beat you that convincingly, and I get it, you might not felt you was 100%, but that's cool. But neither was he. So I think with you being refreshed and rejuvenated and, you had the time off, I think you feel like you would do a lot better against him. And I can understand why you might feel like that. But one could also argue that it'd be similar to the first fight. You know what I mean? The only difference would be that you would probably put up more of an effort, but you would still lose. I don't think nobody would favor you being Danny Garcia in a rematch over Errol Spence. I don't think that's something that people will even be clamoring for because they seen it, and they seen it so convincingly the first time, the loss you took, Spence beat you convincingly, like I said, man. The only rounds he lost was the rounds he kind of took off or let off the gas because he probably wasn't in the best physical condition, obviously. But again, that fight was it was too convincing for me to care about a rematch, for me to really actually want to see a rematch. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, even though you and Keith Thurman, y'all fought years ago, but the difference now is fate. Salute, bro. Appreciate you for sliding through. Yeah, I had to come back one more time. The difference between you and Keith Thurman fight is y'all fight was actually close. You know what I'm saying? It was competitive. You know what I'm saying? I think it was still a unanimous decision. Keith might have got over you, but it was very close. You know what I'm saying? You competed the whole way through. You know what I'm saying? I even think I got a clip of that fight, the first one. Thought I did anyway in here somewhere. My life is a oh no, I got music. But nonetheless, like I said, Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia that first fight was close. So Auckland LD was good, my bro. Appreciate you for sliding through. I had to double back second live of the day, man. I'm feeling like my boy T right now, man. But let me get into it a little bit. I ain't gonna keep y'all here too long. I just had to, come bring y'all this little discussion because it's worth talking about. I think it'd be a good fight and to stick there. And yeah, good fight. I think the rematch being at the first fight was close, very competitive as opposed to Spence and Garcia. That wasn't even close. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you sliding through, bros. Appreciate y'all. I had to spin the block one more time, man. But just a little quick discussion. Ain't like we ain't never talked, but I ain't never, chop this up. And plus, I just seen this currently, like right now. We all know Danny Garcia mentioned a fight with Keith Thurman again, and I ain't against that one because, like I said, you know, he just came off 19 months layoff. You know, Keith Thurman was been inactive the last few years or whatever. He got his Barrios win. I think it'd make sense to try to make a fight between them two again. Now, my question would be is, you know, what weight would it take place at? You know, and that Danny is at 54 now. That's a question right there. Would it be like a catch weight type of deal, or you know what I'm saying? Oh yes, so Fate, yeah, that brings me to my next point. I don't know if y'all peeped that in the thumbnail. Keith Thurman went on his IG, and he had a little something to say. You know, he said I'm too pretty, I'm too blessed. DSG can never pass the Keith Thurman test. Beat that boy with bone spurs. I wasn't even at my best. Man, my IQ is even higher. His feet are slow like a flat tire. This is not a game. It's not Street Fighter, but I will hit you with that yoga. That's what Keith Thurman said about Danny Garcia mentioning his name after his win last night. So he said Danny would never be able to pass the Keith Thurman test. Said his IQ, he said he beat Danny with bone spurs. And I remember that picture. I do remember that picture with the bone spurs. You know, with his elbow all bruised up out of commission. 150. Hey, man, I say he can make it happen. That's 3 pounds. It's 3 pounds for Keith. I say, why not? I mean, given that y'all got previous history, Danny already called your name. You entertained it back. You know what I mean? Saying all that, you try to rhyme and be on your Floyd Senior shit, you know what I mean? With your little slick talk, with your rhymes and shit. So that was cool. You put some thought into that. Now, are you going to put the same type of energy into actually making this fight, or are you just content with sitting on social media talking? You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to know from Keith Thurman. Like, what's the deal with him? Is he really serious about this? Because I know Danny is. I know Danny feeling better. And it'd be interesting to see him get another crack at Keith Thurman right now for where they're both currently at. You know what I mean? They're both in their 30s now. So I think this fight actually makes sense, to be honest with you. Whether Danny at 54 or not, it could be a good build-up. Facts, bro. Thanks, Josh. What's good with it, bro? Appreciate you for sliding through. How you feeling? I had to spin it back one more time. I did my post-fight thoughts a little minute ago, not too long ago. I just was up here, so I appreciate y'all coming back through. But I said, instead of just chopping up the video, I'm gonna go bring this conversation live a little bit, just in case anybody got something they want to add to the discussion. But yeah, man, Keith Thurman need a quality name now. You fought Barrios, you shook your ring rust off, you got your get back, you got a win under your belt. You know, Danny got a win he got his first win under his belt at 54, his first fight since Errol Spence. So he back in the winner's circle for now. You know what I mean? It was a solid win. He controlled the pace. He controlled, you know what I mean, the distance of the fight. Like, you know what I mean? He fought at the pace he wanted to fight at. He was very good defensively, in my opinion. He didn't take a lot of big shots, if any at all. The only question would be is, how is he going to look the next time out in terms of power? Because I really didn't see the pop there. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't see the pop. But again, it's his first fight at the weight. He performed well, but I want to see how much better he feels at the weight his second time around, how much differently he could perform, if at all. DSG can win against Keith. That's why I'm saying, Faye, I don't think this is a BS conversation. That's why, you know, I thought about it for a quick minute. I'm like, nah, let me talk about this to the fam. Because if we realistic and you're really a boxing fan, and you see how competitive the first fight was, although Danny definitely lost, the right man won. He didn't get blew out. It wasn't like Errol Spence. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't one of them. So I think he got an argument for a rematch. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to, like I said, like we all know, given Keith Thurman history and his inactivity, it'll only make sense for him to get a quality name. And like I feel like as long as Danny Garcia is in boxing, he quality unless he start taking back-to-back losses and getting beat by guys that shouldn't beat him. You know what I'm saying? You got to think of the losses that he took. He lost against Keith Thurman when Keith Thurman was undefeated. He lost against Spence. Spence undefeated. The only one that had loss on the resume is Sean Porter. Other than that, you know what I mean? He lost to the absolute best. So I think when people put that in perspective, you got to have more respect for Danny Garcia, the fighter. You just have to. Like, you know, people say, oh, he didn't beat nobody quality at 47 and this and that. Just garbage, man. The totality of his career been a successful one. He only lost against top quality opposition. He never lost to no bum or no run-of-the-mill type fighter. You know what I'm saying? So, and the losses, the Keith Thurman, like I said, the only loss that was like convincing was Errol Spence. The Keith Thurman fight, you know who won, but it was still a close fight. Sean Porter, some people argue that Danny should have won that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if this you bring the value, it'll be good. Yeah, and one could believe that. You know, given that he performed at this level in his first fight, he was very active. Like, he wasn't gun shy. He didn't keep his hands at home too much. He was working in there. Yeah, he should start boxing more instead of banging so much now that he's getting older. Yeah. But you know what, Josh? I think respectfully, he did box smart last night. I think he mixed it up well. You know what I'm saying? And I think as a result, that's why he limited the big shots that he was hit with. You get what I'm saying? And I think he was very responsible on defense and very reactive of the punches coming back at him. He was real alert in there. Like, I liked his activity level for real. That was one of his best, you know what I mean? That was one of the most impressive aspects of the fight to me, his energy level and activity level. Like, the way he was, like, you know what I mean? Very rarely do you see Danny Garcia being the one pushing the pace. Like, let's put this in perspective. This guy is really known to be a counterpuncher and a good counterpuncher with really good timing. He was being first last night. He counterpunched in spots when he needed to, but for the most part, he was being first. So he was on the front foot. He was making the fight. Jose was doing a lot of posturing, a lot of taunting, and shaking his head and standing there. And he wasn't active the way he should have been. To stay in the pocket too much before this fight. Yeah, it's possible. But yeah, you know, as you get older, Josh, like you're saying, you just want to fight smarter. You know what I mean, it's not about fighting harder; it's about fighting smarter because you're getting older. So yeah, realistically, it makes sense for him to approach every fight from a strategic standpoint and from a, you know what I mean, a ring, a strat. You know what I mean? You got to strategize moving forward, man. You can't go off bravado and youth no more because you're not no spring chicken. You're not no young ass fighter no more. You need to box and that body work will get to Thurman. Oh, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. One aspect of this fight that made things convincing that I think allowed Danny Garcia to have success down the stretch was the fact that how well he went to the body from the opening round to the last round. It wasn't a round where he didn't consistently go to his body. He targeted that body the entire night, and I think as a result, he took some of the air out of Benavidez's tires, and he was in prime position to get hit with other shots. Like, he was working the hell out of his body, man. And we all know Keith Thurman is susceptible to body shots. He ain't been down yet, fortunately for him, but I keep saying he on borrowed time. It's only a matter of time before somebody knock him all the way down. You know what I mean? Based off his body shots, based off getting hit to the body and shit like that. He got to tighten that up, man. Get boxing, that body will get determined. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's why I think this fight should happen. I think this rematch should happen, realistically. I think it should. Keith Thurman don't got no dance partner right now. And, you know, Garcia, Danny is fresh off a win where he didn't sustain much punishment at all. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no cuts, no crazy bruising. I mean, he ain't even need a doctor visit after the fight. You know what I'm saying? So that's rare. So that's a good thing for Danny Garcia, man. He went a full 12 rounds. And you know, he didn't waver in there. He fought at a consistent pace. Like I said, his energy stayed consistent all night, and it was impressive to me. Hardcore casual. Scrub and J Cat. What up, Wiz? Oh, yeah, nah, he tried to come through here every now and then, but he ain't came through ever since he came through on that nonsense with that weird energy. I ain't seen him back in here since. A salute to you, man. Hit that like button for you, boy. If you ain't sub to the channel, sub to the channel. Join the family, bro. I'm gonna be here for a little bit longer. That's the game plan. You should take the Thurman facts. Exactly. And that's why I think the more I examine how he attacked last night, the more reason I feel like the Keith Thurman fight is a good one, because it's interesting to see how he had handled this version of Danny Garcia being a more active and alert fighter. It'd be entertaining. Look a little more busy Danny Garcia, bouncing on his toes. Thurman only has one style. Yeah, unfortunately he's become a headhunter. Appreciate you, Hardcore Casual. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. Welcome to the family if you subbed already. You know what I'm saying? And appreciate you. I'm going to be here for a little bit. This is my second live of the day. I already gave my post-fight thoughts. I had to come revisit this because, not only did Danny, I like when a fighter mentions a fighter after their fight. You know what I'm saying? And I think the fight is a realistic one that can happen. And then I like the fact that, like I said, Keith Thurman responded. So his response, hey, man, you got to show some type of interest in wanting to fight him. You sat there and typed all that up, little paragraph and your little slick talk. You get what I'm saying? So, and I think, like I said, with Danny Garcia approach and his energy level being as high as what it was last night, all through the fight, and he's bouncing on the toes in the 12th round, I would love to see a rematch between him and Keith Thurman. I think it'd be a good fight. I think that's a really even fight for where they at right now. I really do. This fight, the second time around, they might be closer right now in terms of competition level than where they was at when they first fought. It's a good chance. There's a good chance because Keith Thurman ain't that same Keith Thurman that he was when Danny fought him. And obviously people will say Danny ain't the same Danny, but you get what I'm saying. So, like, guess what? Like, all right, for instance, okay, Keith just had 12 rounds with Barrios. He just went the full duration. Now he hurt Barrios a couple times, but couldn't get him out of there. He never dropped him. Now, the only thing I will say is I ain't see Danny Garcia visibly hurt Benavidez at all in the fight. So the jury is still out as to whether or not his power transitioned up to 54. But like I said, I would like to at least give him one more fight before I make a decision on that, me personally. So I think this fight make a whole lot of sense, man. I think it's one that people should push for, believe it or not. Why not? And get Thurman stubborn on making this fight. Yeah. But you see what I'm saying is, well, I even thought about talking about it, given the way, Thurman moves, and it could be weird sometimes, is because he responded. And this was a drawn out response. I'm too pretty. I'm too blessed. You know what I mean? DSG can never pass the Keith Thurman test. He trying to be slick. You get what I'm saying? I beat that boy with bone spurs. I wasn't even at my best. Man, my IQ is even higher. His feet are like a flat tire, slow like a flat tire. Like, he talking all this shit. This is not a game. It's not Street Fighter, but I give you that yoga. That was corny. That yoga part was weak. But he's talking slick a little bit before that part. Or come back and still do his thing still exactly. And then it'd be another solid test if, DSG, since his 19-month layoff, know what I mean? That you know what I mean? Life surviving Earl Spence is tough, man. It's time for people to really accept that. It's really tough. That's really tough. Life after Spence is no joke. You know what I'm saying? So that win last night, man, he showed me a little something, man. Now I just want to see him again, see him more active, and see what else he could get done. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. But another reason I brought y'all back and I spent the block back, because I know y'all see who else in the thumbnail too. You know what I mean? And y'all they got the UK's own Conor Benn. You know what I mean? Conor the Destroyer Benn. You know what I mean? So Conor Benn, I did some comment creeping. You know what I'm saying? And on that very same post where Keith Thurman is responding to Danny Garcia, Conor Benn is on his helmet in his comment section on IG. You know what I'm saying? Conor Benn told Keith Thurman, you won't pass the Conor Benn test. Leave the past in the past. This is the future. So he's basically telling him, don't worry about making another fight With Danny Garcia, the past is the past. Leave that there. Focus on the future. I am the future. He basically saying you won't pass a test in the ring with me. So that brings me to my next point. If Keith Thurman is not willing to fight Danny Garcia for whatever reason, then there's no reason why he shouldn't entertain the fight with Conor Benn. If you look at it like, oh, Danny at 54, I'm still at 47. He a 54 pounder. Cool. Conor Benn is a welterweight. He's a 47 pounder, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to fight him. If you're talking about getting back into title contention and really contending for a title, bro, fight one of these dudes that's mentioning your name so the people can respect you. Don't go try to pull another BS fight. No knock on Barrios. He was getting his feet wet at 47. You was getting back into the swing of things. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. But now, what you gonna do? Because EJ is not a fight you really want. Like, you gonna talk it, but you don't really. You know that man ain't fighting you, and you ain't trying to retire right now. If you really still hungry, prove it by fighting one of these hungry guys that want to fight you back. Conor Benn should not have to say anything more. He personally went in your comment section on a post where you was basically calling out or talking slick to somebody you already fought. And he challenged you and told you straight up, you won't pass the test. Don't try to ignore it. I ain't trying to hear you don't read your comments. I ain't trying to hear none of that, bro. You on Instagram, bro. What you gonna do, Keith Thurman? What you gonna do? Make the fight. Conor Benn wants some of that facts. He told him you won't pass the Conor Benn test. Leave the past in the past. This is the future. Straight like that. That's as direct as it comes. You telling him straight up, you can't deal with me in the ring. You won't pass the Conor Benn test. Straight like that. So I say a real fighter will respond. The same way you responded to Danny Garcia, keep that same energy with Conor Benn and take your pick. I expect to see Keith Thurman in the ring with one of these dudes soon. I don't want to hear nothing else. You know what I'm saying? You got people on your bumper. You got people wanting to entertain fights with you. I feel like the Danny Garcia fight would be even more competitive now than it was the first time, given where y'all both had y'all career. Because Keith ain't going to lay down. He ain't lay down in the one loss he had. And that was a split decision loss to Pacquiao. I still think he should have beat that version of Pacquiao, but that's another story. Nonetheless, since then, you've been struggling to get your name and your respect back in the boxing world. So who better than to either fight a Danny Garcia coming off a win that you already beat, still a respectable name to real fight fans. You know what I'm saying? Or you gonna go fight the young hungry lion and Conor Benn? What you gonna do? Conor Benn want that smoke, that Thurman smoke. Facts, Josh. He won in. That's what I'm saying, bros. That's what I'm saying. Conor versus Thurman is a good fight, man. I don't see why. There's no reason in the world why they shouldn't fight. And I'm talking about real soon, in the very near future. Like, there's no excuse for it. Ain't no reason y'all could come up with why y'all not gonna fight. I'm tired of all this senseless call-outs and these social media call-outs, and then y'all going another direction and don't fight the people. Like, I'm tired of seeing it. Enough is enough, man. Get in there and fight, bro. Get in there and fight. Get in there and fight. All this talking, typing, and then trying to act like you don't see this Conor Benn comment is at the top of your page, bro. And at the time of, it was posted an hour ago, so he basically responded a little bit after you posted this. So I ain't trying to hear it. Keith Thurman, don't try to act like you don't hear him. You know what I'm saying? Let me know you talking like you willing to entertain a fight with Danny Garcia, or like he can't handle you now. All right, you beat him with bone spurs. Your IQ higher now. I don't feel that way. I don't feel like your IQ is higher since fighting him. So this is something I would want to see. Show us your IQ higher. Show us he wouldn't pass the Keith Thurman test. Because I don't know. The way you looked in your last fight, I'm not too sure you could pass the Danny Garcia test. Because Danny Garcia looked like he was more busy in his fight than you was in yours. You get what I'm saying? And he looked like he was in better shape than what you was. And Keith Thurman did look like he was in fairly decent shape. You know what I'm saying? But Danny Garcia, from an energy standpoint, for that to be his first fight at that weight class, he looked very energetic and on his toes. Conor can catch him. He explosive facts. You can test Keith Thurman right now. Keith Thurman gonna have to search and dig and find that extra gear, I think, to beat Conor Benn. Because if you get tired, you gas, or you get hit with a body shot that hurts you, it's gonna be a real problem for you, man. It's gonna be a problem. What's good with it, my bro? Rebel Life, what's good with it, family? How you feeling, bro? Appreciate you stopping through. Conor Benn go Thurman body with full. Conor Benn a damn good body puncher. That's a fact, man. And that's the fact. I want to see if somebody can actually not just hurt Keith Thurman to the body. Because remember, we've been seeing him spit the damn mouthpiece out. We've seen that twice. But I want to see if somebody can actually put him down. So I think his body is a little better than what some people say. Because although he's been hurt to the body several times, he still ain't been knocked down yet. He been escaping. By the skin of his teeth, he been escaping to get knocked down to the body. Appreciate everybody in the building, man. Y'all smashed the like button. I'm gonna be here for a little bit longer. Like I said, this is my second live of the day. Just had to get this out, a little good discussion. Damn, Conor Benn want that smoke facts. Rebel, he said he told, Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman responded to Danny Garcia mentioning his name last night, basically entertaining a rematch. And Keith Thurman went on to say he too pretty, he too blessed. He said DSG can never pass the Keith Thurman test. He said, I beat that boy with bone spurs. I wasn't even at my best. Man, my IQ is higher. His feet are slow like a flat tire. This is not a game. It's not Street Fighter, but I will hit you with that yoga. And so to me, that sounds like you went to writing all that out. You got a little paragraph right there, man. Sound like you and DSG need to start some negotiations real soon. Let him rest a little bit because he ain't taking no real damage. DSG could be back in the ring soon, in the next few months or so. They hurt him to the body. That's a fact, bro. And they usually let him off the hook. They allow him to escape. They allow him to circle around the ring, spit his mouthpiece out to escape. All that. You got to drop and hurt to the body. He's vulnerable right now. Yeah, if he get dropped to the body, it's gonna be trouble for him, bro. He's gonna have to. Yeah, you heard him teach. Salute, teach. Appreciate you stopping through. You heard Keefy Pooh with the bars. He's giving me some Mayweather Senior vibes with that rhyming he was doing. Ali type trash talk. But again, if you could sit there and think that out and write that out, then I'm pretty sure you could put some energy into actually making this fight a rematch a reality. You know what I'm saying? Salute, my bro. You can make this a reality. You know what I'm saying? Just make it a reality. Make this fight happen. And again, for the first time in a while, Keefy Pooh got some options. When the last time Keith had some options in boxing, man? He got some options, man. You know what I'm saying? You got the DSG looking revitalized, looking rejuvenated at 54, on his toes, high activity level, pitching damn near shutouts. You know what I'm saying? He came off a shutout loss damn near. You know what I'm saying? He came and down there, pitched a shutout, probably lost one round if you want to give Jose that. You know what I mean? Other than that, Danny looks solid. And that's what I'm saying. I think when people were saying, how do you assess him being that the opponent wasn't that good and he ain't offer much, that's how you assess him. You thoroughly break down how he won and how he was able to win and how dominant it was. And I think that's enough to say that this is a pretty good version of Danny Garcia right now. I think that's how you look at that. You get what I'm saying? He was able to keep it up consistent. He ain't had no scary moments, really no rough moments. It was like, you was worried for him. None of that. He handled that fight like a boss, man. And he wins a rematch in my opinion. Hey, Josh, it's not out the realm of possibility, bro. This ain't back in the day. Even that fight was close. I keep saying that. So with that being said, I don't think a rematch is a waste of time at this point, especially where they at in their careers. It's funny how things work out sometimes, and I think if they revisited a rematch, that'd be dope. That'd be a good ass fight. I know it would. Questions, you might act like you don't see the options. Facts, fate. But when the last time this man had some options for real? And you need to consider the real options, not Errol Spence. Leave that alone. That's retirement. Or I'm assuming you ain't ready to retire, right? Okay. So Spence don't count. Crawford don't count. Unfortunately, Boots don't count either because you ain't trying to get retired. From Conor Benn, that's a winnable fight if you bring whatever version of your end game you got left in you. You know what I'm saying? That's a winnable fight. It won't be easy because that dude won't come to hurt you. Conor sense weakness. For any reason he can't get his respect how he's supposed to, he gonna be in some trouble, man. Conor's smart. He gonna go to that body, man. be able to get this fight, you better go to Keith Thurman body. No head hunting, buddy. Don't even worry about the head too much for the first couple rounds. Just work behind your jab and go to his body. Take any available openings, but don't head hunt. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I see avenues for Conor Benn to win a Keith Thurman fight right now, and that'll put him on the map. That'll be a quality win. Don't care what nobody say. He only got one loss. I don't want to hear it. That boy lost one time. If he was that bad, he'd be getting his ass beat by just about anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see it. Hopefully he don't ignore the options though. Virgil. Yeah, I want to see who Virgil gonna get in there with next too, bro. After McKenzie, because I know this is a get back fight. He had the health situation, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt on that. Just getting his feet back wet. He's been off for a while. You know what I mean? He went through some things, so hopefully, you know what I mean, he get McKenzie out of there. That's a knockout win. That's gonna be a showcase fight for him. That dude not gonna be able to keep Virgil out of his wheelhouse. He's gonna get right up in his kitchen and start breaking shit. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna walk right up in that man's kitchen and start breaking dishes. You know what I'm saying? That's really what Virgil gonna do to McKenzie. King, salute, bro. Appreciate you. Slide. How you feeling? That means you use this jab like you did with Jose. Thurman is faster hooker. That's a fact. Use his jab, bro, like he was doing, and keep going to that body all night. Don't avoid going to the body. And I like the way he shit, it's a good chance. I think he landed more body shots than head shots. That's a good recipe. The way he attacked last night, that's a smart strategy to attack a Keith Thurman, to me. A guy that's susceptible to body shots, I don't know. Who knows if Keith Thurman body could take 150-some body shots or whatever it is Jose body took last night. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And, Keith Thurman like the head hunt. So he tends to shoot his load a bit when he do that. You know what I'm saying? And I think the body shots would be detrimental down the stretch, man. It's another option. In fact, that's the option. That's the retirement option, fate. So because you gotta put it in categories. Like a Crawford, a Spence, and Boots right now. Those retirement home options. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go to visit a retirement home, take his pick between Crawford, Spence, and Boots. Try to go that route if you want to. If you're ready, go see a retirement home afterwards. Cool. You know what I'm saying? But if you still want to potentially compete and fight in a fight that you could potentially win and get the respect of some people, I say you fight Conor Benn or a rematch with Danny Garcia. Or if you dare, you want to be brave and get in there with a young lion and Virgil Ortiz. But I don't think Virgil Ortiz is borderline retirement home too, man. You know how that's looking. I don't know if you're going to try to just act like they're not there or what, but we know they're there. You know what I'm saying? But again, we shouldn't have to go too far for an option for Thurman again, right? Because you got people mentioning your name, which is a good thing. When the last time more than one person mentioned your name? And it's funny how it's all working out. Danny Garcia mentioned your name. You mentioned Danny Garcia in the post. On that very same post, Conor Benn jump on your top. You know what I'm saying? It's looking like he wants smoke now. So again, my opinion of Conor Benn is starting to change because I don't think he's going to jump on nobody's Instagram just to cat, as the young people say. I think it's a chance. Matter of fact, I feel like he really wants that Keith Thurman smoke. Now, let's see what Keith Thurman obliged him with, man. Let's see what he got to say. Don't try, because I'm going to get on Keith Thurman ass, man. You responded to Danny Garcia. Nah. And he had 54. Respond to that welterweight that's in the same division as you. Just don't be calling for Danny knowing that he ain't coming back down to 47. So what you going to do? Where would that fight take place at anyway? That's what I'm thinking for starters. So you know what? You know what fighter you even got to worry about all that weight shit with? Conor Benn. Why? Because he had 47 right with you, waiting to fight. All right, look, 40. Take the retirement fight. Yeah, Fate. I said if he ready mentally, like it's hard if he ready to give up the sport and not boxing no more. Yeah, fight one of them young lions. Or fight one of them champions. Fight one of them champions right now if you want to. Only if he's ready to retire. I'm urging him to not go that route right now. Unless he's ready to retire, bro. Real deal. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, it's been a while. It's been quite some time since Keith Thurman had options, bro. He had options in I don't know how long. They brought it, man, when they fought, man. They did, yo.
Keith Thurman has been down once in his career. Garcia has never been on the canvas, but they are throwing with bad intentions early. Oh, but there's a sweeping left hook by Thurman.
Just using those rangefinder jabs has helped him in this one. That's a beautiful
and a left hook and a right hand by Garcia. We've come to the end of round 5. Garcia with a flurry. We're down the stretch here in round 9. And they are swinging for the fences. Under a minute remaining. Garcia with a right hand. Thurman goes back to the body. Two of the best go the distance to unify the welterweight titles.
He is now the WBA and WBC unified welterweight champion of the world, Keith Thurman.
Man, that was a good scrap right there, man. Who wouldn't want to watch that again? I would. For what they at right now, I will watch that again. Skywalker, salute, my bro. Appreciate you for sliding through. Karma got tuned for not giving EJ a chance. That's a fact. That's a fact. Salute to my bro, Southern T. What's good with it, T? What's good with it, bro? Yeah, I had to spin back one more time. I don't know if you caught it, but I'll bring y'all up to speed. Y'all already know Danny Garcia mentioned fighting Keith Thurman in a rematch. So I'm over here advocating that that's actually a good fight. And Keith Thurman, went on his Instagram and had some stuff to say back. He said he basically said Danny Garcia went past the Keith Thurman test, his feet slow as a flat tire, all this little slick talk. So on that very same post, Conor Benn jumped up there and told Keith Thurman, you won't pass the Keith Thurman test. You won't pass the Conor Benn test. He said, leave the past in the past. He said, focus on the future, basically saying, ain't no need for you to try to fight Danny. You already fought him. Fight me. So I'm like, man, I want to see it. Salute to my bro Skywalker and T. Sliding in the building. Salute to my TWT brothers, man. Kurt, salute, bro. Curtis, what's good with it, bro? Appreciate you sliding through. Yeah, I had to spin the block one more time, man. I had to, had this little conversation because, I think there's 2 fights right here. And like I said earlier, when is the last time Keith Thurman had options? You know what I'm saying? When the last time this man had options for real? Coastal Boxing, what's good with it, bro? Appreciate you sliding through. Gotta smash that like button for your boy, man. We gonna chop it up a little while longer. You know what I'm saying? But again, I think these are 2 fights that could happen. And like I said, when the last time that, Keefy Pooh had options, you know what I'm saying? People are calling his name. Danny Garcia, I think that's a good fight for where they're both at. You know what I'm saying? The first fight was competitive, as y'all just seen in that clip that I played. They battled back the whole time. I just believe Keith Thurman got the better of the work in that fight. You know what I'm saying? And he jumped on Danny Garcia early and got his respect. And Danny Garcia, he battled back down the stretch, but Keith Thurman did enough early to secure the fight, in my opinion. Danny Garcia wasn't busy enough in that, especially for the first half of that fight. You know what I'm saying? But he still did a good-ass job, and it was a close fight. It was a close win for Keith Thurman. And like I said, with Danny Garcia looking the way he looked last night, and I'm telling you, the most impressive thing about him was his energy level and his activity. Very rarely do you see Danny Garcia pushing the pace and clearly outworking his opponent. That was rare. That's good to see. His first fight at the weight class, coming off a 19-month layoff, and he ain't looked super rusty. Just got to give him his credit regardless of who he fought. He fought a credible opponent. Get what I'm saying? Maybe the dude just didn't pull the trigger for whatever reason, but dude only lost the one time with the draw. So, nonetheless, he beat a dude that ain't never been beat that bad like that in a straight boxing match. Crawford knocked him out in the last round. That was his worst defeat, of course. But other than that, you got Danny Garcia. You know what I mean? His only 2 losses, but he got boxed down. He never get beat up like that. He was getting outboxed, clearly. I think he was a little more competitive with Crawford in that fight, even though he got knocked out. I think he won more rounds in that fight. Well, I don't think a Danny Garcia versus Keith Thurman rematch is a waste of time at all. I think they should explore that. You know what I'm saying? I think Keith Thurman need to really consider his options. And if you feel like you don't want to do a catchweight or nothing with Danny Garcia, you don't want to go up to 54, that's cool. But you got Conor Benn at 47. So again, you have options, Keith Thurman. You just can't ignore all of them because you're not getting no Errol Spence. I don't care what you ranked in the WBC. You're not getting no Errol Spence fight, you idiot. Unless you're trying to revisit a retirement home, you should stay far away from Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, and Jerron Boots Ennis. And borderline, Virgil Ortiz might be a retirement home situation too for you. Stay away from them dudes, bro. Not trying to be funny, none of that. Them dudes right there, even Conor Benn is going to be a tough fight, but I still believe it's a winnable fight if you're able to hit another gear or so in your actual fights. You know what I'm saying? But it's still interesting to see. You know what I'm saying? Conor Benn ain't fought nobody on your level. You know what I'm saying? You got the experience in that fight. So let's see. You've been at 47 doing your thing for the longest. So let's see it. You know what I'm saying? You got options. Don't ignore them or we're going to be on your ass. If you had time to entertain Danny Garcia writing little poetry and shit, talking slick, feet slow as a flat tire, and never passed the Keith Thurman test. You beat him with bone spurs and your IQ all this much higher. Your IQ high as you saying it is, you'll know that you need to stay your ass away from Errol Spence, Boots Ennis, and Terrence Crawford. Don't even think about none of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's retirement home situations right there, bro. You need to stay far away from them dudes. Leave them dudes alone unless you are ready to hang the gloves up. Man, I'm telling you. Fighting Errol Spence is guaranteed you're going to take whatever bit of energy you got left and whatever bit of fights you think you got left in your career, he's going to take at least the rest of them off. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a good chance. Like, how many times y'all think Keith Thurman to fight again after he fight Errol Spence right now? Exactly my point. Like, that's crazy. That's both. How many times you think he'll fight again after he fought a Boots Ennis right now? You see what I'm saying? You better stay your ass to Terrence Crawford. And you better stay your ass away from them. Go fight somebody else. You'll get respect for beating Conor Benn. I think, oddly enough, he'll get respect for beating Danny Garcia in a rematch. I think he would. I don't think that'd be the worst fight. Look where they're at in their careers. That makes perfect sense, actually. If they can come up with a weight that they both comfortable at, meet in the middle or something like that, I don't see why the fight can't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you ain't interested in playing with the weight or doing none of that, then that's cool. And you gotta at least acknowledge Conor Benn because he's in your comment section on Instagram where everybody can see it, bro. I'm not trying to hear it. We've seen it. We've all seen it. I got it in my phone. I've seen it. Screenshot it. Can't try to delete it and none of that. It's out there. Conor Benn said you will not pass the Conor Benn test. Leave the past in the past. This is the future. Now get your ass in there with it. Yeah, Earl changed his lives after getting in the ring with him. That's the fact, bro. That's all I'm saying. Unless he's ready for a more life-changing situation, which I don't think you want right now. So, all due respect, stay away from EJ. Don't try to demand nothing. Just sit there quietly with your ranking. Let that shit shake out and leave it alone. He said, wait, what I missed? Oh, you ain't catch that, T? Which part? What you missed? Conor Benn on Keith Thurman bumper in his comment section on IG. He told him you will not pass the Conor Benn test. You know, Keith Thurman responded to Danny Garcia mentioning his name last night. So he made a post saying some little slick shit to Danny Garcia, saying Danny Garcia never passed the Keith Thurman test. He had bone spurs when he beat Danny. You know what I'm saying? Saying Danny feet slow like a flat tire. All this shit, his IQ higher than it was before. But then on that same post, Conor Benn is the top comment. You could go look now. He said you will not pass the Conor Benn test. Leave the past in the past. This is the future. So he wants smoke with Keith Thurman. That's how I got here. That's what got me doing this live, man. Coming back for the second time today. Hurry up. So I say, give him what he want, man. Get these boys what he wants. Somebody gotta fight. Somebody gotta fight Conor Benn, man. Why not be Keith Thurman? He calling for it. Give it to him. Yeah, man. Yeah. Skywalker, he's a weird guy, man. Combat 2 bag. What's good with it, bro? Salute to you. Appreciate you sliding through. I had to double back today, double up on the lives today, man, and just bring this little bit of news to y'all while it's fresh. Why it happened today. It ain't no weeks old. This ain't no fake news. Nothing I made up. None of these fights are next. I'm just saying, based off what we heard from Danny Garcia, he entertained a Keith Thurman rematch. Keith Thurman went on his Instagram to have a little drawn-out paragraph responding to Danny Garcia, saying he had never passed the test, basically saying he had still beat him. He even smarter than he was then. Which I think this fight would be even closer now than it was back then, given where they're both at. And this version of Danny Garcia, if he has this type of energy and work rate, it could be problematic for Keith Thurman where he's at right now. So I'm interested in seeing it. I want to see it. And then Conor Benn jumped on Keith Thurman post and told him he won't pass the Conor Benn test. You know what I mean? Focus on the future right now. You know what I mean? Leave the past in the past. Someone wants to smoke, give him the smoke. Nah, facts. Facts. Yeah, and again, we've been asking for Conor Benn to step it up. I know I've been asking for it. Yeah, facts. I know I've been asking for Conor Benn to step up and act like he want to fight somebody that's an actual threat to him. And lo and behold, look, he get to me. Him jumping on Keith Thurman Instagram post directly, calling for the smoke, is exactly the kind of energy I need out of Conor Benn. And right now, I can't ask for more than that because now he put the ball in Keith Thurman. AB, salute, my bro. Appreciate you to slide through TWT in the building. Salute to the winning team, man. I had to double back, man, and chop this up about this real quick, you know, before anybody else jump on it. I ain't see nobody else speak on it, but you know, it's fresh. Like I said, Danny entertaining a rematch. Keith Thurman is responding. Conor Benn is responding to him. So I say Keith Thurman got options for the first time in a long time in years in the sport of boxing. I think that he can actually gain some respect off beating Danny Garcia right now, oddly enough. I think definitely him fighting and entertaining a fight with Conor Benn would be a risky enough fight for people to definitely respect him right now. You know what I'm saying? I think Conor Benn, if I'm not mistaken, is ranked, but like, I think they had him fifth in like the sanctioning bodies, and that might have changed since then. That might have changed. So, yeah, man, I want to see it. Number 3 and 4 in the WBO. Let's go. Yeah, man. So him and Keith Thurman, man, seem like a real fight, man. Either of them. Like I said, man, I just hope that he don't ignore it. He don't ignore the smoke and try not to fight nobody. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be on his ass. And now I got another question. You know, if any of these fights happen, man, I just got a realistic question. Do anybody in here feel like Conor Benn going to be world champion at 47? And do anybody in here feel like Keith Thurman going to win again at 47? Do y'all think either of these two dudes gonna hold the title at 47, Keith Thurman again? And do you think Conor Benn gonna get his first title at 47? And if so, who do you think he gonna get it from? Because that's really what it boils down to. Conor Benn at that, he right on that contender, you know, he right there to compete for the title. He right there. So, I mean, I think it's just realistic to start asking some questions, man. They want to call for the smoke. I say oblige them, give them the smoke that they calling for. And at the end of the day, Conor Benn championship material. Can he win a world title at 147? Because it's not going to be easy. As long as you got a Bruce Ennis there, Vert Ortiz there, it's not going to be easy for Conor Benn to win the title. It's not impossible, but it ain't going to be easy. But I say this, though. Calling for the ex-champion, it's like a Keith Thurman. That's a start. That's a step in the right direction, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you what, he beat a Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? It's no reason in the world why he ain't ready for the next step up. And the next step up got to be like a title. Yeah. And just give them the bag with it. Let them get the smoke that they asking for, and give us the fans the fights that we want to see that are entertaining. Like, I'm not against the rematch between these two. Usually, I'm not a fan of rematches, but in this case, I'm not mad at it. From what I've seen out of these two, the last time they was in the ring, we just seen Danny last night. He looked rejuvenated, man. He looked like a fresher fighter right now. And maybe the weight is helping him. Maybe the weight helped him. I'm telling you, I have not seen that dude bouncing on his toes like that in no fight in a long time, for years. He was doing that in the 12th round, pushing the pace. When have y'all seen Danny Garcia pushing the pace, bro? Pushing the pace, outworking his opposition, and not just being, mostly primarily a counter puncher with good timing. This dude showed you the willingness to be first and be first consistently and counter punch when he needed to. That's what impresses me, along with the energy and activity level. And then his defense was smart. This dude was smart as hell defensively last night. He did not take a bunch of silly shots in there. He walked out with a clean face. Yeah, Keith Thurman and Conor Benn, but either one, because, it's all up for discussion. Because, again, Conor Benn wrote on Keith Thurman Instagram, "You will not pass the Conor Benn test." That's as clear as a call out as I ever seen. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it. But options Thurman got are big money fights. I don't understand that. And that's what I'm saying. So, my thing is, while I got y'all here, what I'm saying is, Keith Thurman got options right now for the first time in years, and I think they're realistic options that are meaningful for his career in terms of where he's at right now. You know what I'm saying? And him taking the proper kind of challenge accordingly. Like, everybody just want to fight the champion, but we all know it's not that simple, and the champions got some business to really take care of. So let them champions get that business out the way. And in the meantime, Keith Thurman, you need to keep yourself active. Keep yourself active by challenging yourself accordingly, bro, and fighting somebody that want to fight you. That is actually meaningful for your career, like I said. And I think fighting a Conor Benn or do some good for your career, even a rematch wouldn't be such a bad idea. But at the same, what would be a bad idea if you stay here and you entertain that with Danny Garcia, but you're going to act like you don't hear Conor Benn in your comment section, or you can't read all of a sudden. Like, I'm not going to be cool with that. You're not going to sit here and act like you ain't got smoke and real options now. Stop talking about the top fighters that you're not going to get in there with. You got the great champion, and Earl Spence willing to drop his belt before he fights you. That's how much he don't want to fight you. So I definitely don't think you need to worry about that at all. I don't think that's a possibility. I don't care where you rank that. I don't care where you rank that. I don't care. I don't care where the WBC got you ranked. You're not getting no Errol Spence fight. Get that up. You should have fought him before that, but we off that now. So now, very next thing for you to do after beating the Mario Barrios is test yourself against a hungry lion and Conor Benn. Or go revisit that Danny Garcia smoke that I think is going to be a lot more competitive for you, regardless of what he thinks. Virgil progressive come forward welters. In fact, and being that I said, Virgil Ortiz got this warm up. He got this sparring match coming up soon, so he a little booked up right now. But I say right now, Keith Thurman and Conor Benn don't got opponents. I know Conor Benn and Chris Eubank was supposedly doing something, but I just got this strange suspicion that Eubank ain't gonna really want to do nothing. He just talking. But I think Conor Benn is really ready for the smoke right now. And the only way we truly gonna know what he's ready for and what he made of is somebody give him an opportunity. And I don't see why Keith Thurman won't be the one to do that. Because that's an opportunity that can work both ways. what I'm saying? I know Conor Benn ain't no champion and shit like that. Still, I mean, you gotta keep Thurman closer or put him on the path to where he's trying to get to. You can't just skip the line and skip the route. You gotta fight somebody. And Mario, you don't go from Mario Barrios to Earl Spence. I'm pretty sure you understand how boxing works. You ain't dumb. And you only mix up for the matchmaking. Yeah, I was hearing something about Stan Jonas and Boots. I don't know how solid that is, but we'll see in these upcoming weeks for sure. But hopefully Boots get a credible opponent, a solid opponent that's going to be able to take him some rounds. So people shut up a little bit when it comes to Boots. And going to test his body. Yeah, all of them going to test his body, to be honest. They all going to test his body. And that's exactly why I want to see it, because I know they're going to test his body. And that's just what we want to see. We want to see his body tested. Test his ass. Practice. Go to his body. He already on borrowed time. He keep getting cracked in that body and not going down, but spitting out that mouthpiece. Ain't got too much longer to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got too much longer to be doing that. Somebody gonna get him all the way down, or somebody gonna actually follow up and capitalize after cracking him in his body. It's gonna be bad for him. Gotta do some damn crunches or something, some extra crunches to train the camp. I don't know what he needs. He needs something. That spit in the mouthpiece look ain't a good look. I'll tell you that. That's a clear sign that you hurt. He do not got a good poker face when he hurt to the body. That shit visible. He be trying to get up out of there. But again, man, like I said, Thurman got options. I think we really need, if we want to get the most out of this tail end of his career, I think he need to spend his time entertaining quality fights that make sense for his pockets and his career, not just his pockets. The Earl Spence fight is just gonna be good for your pockets. You're gonna get paid, but even though he ain't gonna fight you, it's hypothetical. You could get that fight. You're gonna get retired, bro. You're gonna get retired. Somebody safe first. Skywalker, somebody safe first, more than likely. That's a good question. That's something to think about. Try to tell at 47, and why I'm even hesitant to think, because he done sat his ass. He at risk of sitting at 140 too long. And then I think about that with Josh Taylor, because he should already be at welterweight. That's a big guy, yo. Even Crawford said that. My bro Yoda Wise Crush was good with it, bro. Appreciate you stopping back too. You know, I had to spin it one more time, one more again for the folks. As I said, hey, Crush, a man chopping it up about Keefy Poo. Keefy Poo got some options, Crush. You know, we got Danny speaking on him, and he spoke back to Danny on his Instagram. But then Conor Benn jumped in the comment section and told Keith Thurman, you will not pass the Conor Benn test. So Conor Benn want that smoke. So I've been in here chopping it up with the family, letting them know that Keith Thurman got options for the first time in years in the sport of boxing. He actually got some options that could put him in a position to be somewhat relevant in the sport again, depending on how he handle it and how he play his hand. There's a ball in his court. You got a young lion in Conor Benn in your comment section where you basically talking shit about Danny Garcia not being able to pass the Keith Thurman test. Now Conor Benn come right in there and say, well, you won't pass the Conor Benn test. So, you know what I'm saying? He said, leave the past in the past. This is the future. So he basically saying, focus on me and not Danny Garcia. That's you already fought Danny. Fight me. So I'm telling the family that either one of those fights makes sense to Keith Thurman right now for where he had in his career. And I don't usually advocate for rematches, but considering how their rematch took place years ago, and they're both at different points or similar points in their careers, they at the tail end of their careers. It's their last, you know, run at titles and all that type of shit. So I think it made more sense for a rematch or than a typical rematch. You get what I'm saying? And the first fight was very competitive. So I say, well, you know, why not entertain it if they can make it at a certain weight? And if, like I said, if you don't want to mess with his weight, then you got the young lion and Conor Benn right there sitting at 47 with you. So what you gonna do? I'm trying to fight Keith People instead of Eubanks. Hey, Crush is looking like it. And you know why? I ain't surprised that he going that route or he on his bumper. Because something tell me that Eubank ain't going to be the one. He going to be the one for that reason, that fight not to happen for some reason if it don't happen. I don't think it's going to be Conor Benn. Something with Eubank that, you know what I'm saying? Something with Eubank. But then again, I could be wrong. Maybe they still going to make it because Eubank talked some shit to Jake Paul. Said he got a fight coming up already. So we're going to see how this shit shake out. But what I am saying, Keith Thurman sound like he had options, man, and that's rare. But to him, like he ain't had options in a long time, man, and potential options that could be, make him somewhat relevant. And some respectable fans. And again, I understand it was Jose Benavidez last night, but look how dominant the win was. And again, not to just be repetitive, but Wayne, it's been a long time or a rare occasion when you see Danny Garcia being the busier fighter, outworking his opponent clearly, higher work rate, like it is rare. Pushing the pace, bouncing, being energetic on his toes. That's rare, that energy level. Like, you showed me something. He might really feel better at 54. You know how fighters say it? And you get in there and they like the same dude. I ain't saying he ain't still somewhat of the same fighter. Like he's still Danny Garcia. He just like he has more energy at 50. And I don't care what you say, if more energy means you're gonna be more defensively responsible and reactive when punches coming. You're gonna be able to place your punches well and really be able to push the pace if you need to and keep your energy high the entire time. And he can be a lot more competitive or considerably more competitive than what I thought at 54. Now I still don't say that performance beat the top tier, but I say that performance makes me feel like I understand the move to 54 better. If the energy, if this is not a one-off, and again, I keep focusing on the energy because that's important. Or you think you got Earl Spence saying Danny felt good or whatever his comments was, something along those lines. Say thanks, Luke, appreciate you. I think him be a champion 47. Yeah. Big Crush is real out here. Real question. And he's solid too, but salute to my TWT fan, of course. Salute to the chat fan. Y'all smash the like button for me if I have it. Dang, good regards to Michael Jose Jr. That's a fact because there's other things that you could look at outside of just the actual punches being thrown, and that's what I was glad to see. Like he got a full 12 rounds to see that. He looked fresh for a duration of 12, and I understand his opponent wasn't the most. He didn't offer the most back. I get that. But he still looked good. He kept his pace and his energy together and stuck to his game plan, and the way he focused on the body, landing over 150 some body shots or something like that. I think it was like. That should have told, like, that makes it even. That approach, that strategy that he stuck with, not head hunting and constantly going to the body and making that a focal point. And G5, my bro, what's good with it, bro? Appreciate you, G5, dude. How you feeling, bro? I had to slide back one more time with this info, man. While it's hot, while it deserves to be talked about, that's fresh. Danny spoke on Keith last night. Keith made a post earlier, you know what I'm saying? And talking about Danny, like almost sounding like he'd be willing to entertain the fight, saying Danny would never be able to pass the Keith Thurman test, which then led to, Conor Benn jumping in the comment section and he told Keith Thurman he won't pass the Conor Benn test. So Conor Benn sound like he wants to smoke with Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia seem like they entertaining each other. Danny spoke, Keith Thurman responded, and then Conor responded to that. So what we got is the situation where potentially it sounds like there's some options for Keith Thurman that could be beneficial to his career and not just bad news, Spence fight, if that's what he thinking, that's a bag move / retirement home situation. The same thing with Boots. That's not even a bag move. That's just a retirement home situation. I know you don't want none of that. Slightly safer route is Conor Benn, and he might test you. He definitely gonna test you regardless, gonna lose control, but it's still a fight that you can either look good in or get some respect if you're able to pull off the win. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Danny, where the way he approached this fight last night, going to the body that much, man. I don't see Keith Thurman body holding up to the 100 and some body shots. I tell you that. I don't see that. I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? And again, if he's unwilling to play with his weight and compromise his weight in any way, shape, or form, or meet in the middle, catch weight, any of that stuff, if that's not something Keith Thurman want to do, then cool. Again, you got Conor Benn at 147, willing and ready to fight. Not only willing and ready, told you won't pass the test with him. So you know what he's saying. You get in the ring with him, you won't beat him. You know what I'm saying? He basically told you on your post on Instagram for all your fans to read that you can't fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? And depending on how you handle this, it's going to say a lot about Keith Thurman mentally and where he at from a business standpoint in his career right now. If he try to ignore the smoke, then you get to hold his feet to the fire. But if you oblige and say something, because you had this energy writing poetry and rhymes. Yeah, he wrote a rhyme, should I say, from Danny Garcia. So I expect at some point, I don't care when, but at some point you need to respond to what Conor Benn said. That's all I'm saying, because he's in the same exact division with you. So again, if you want to look at it like Danny is at 54, cool. Stick in your division and you got smoke there. So we're going to see how this play out. We're going to see how everything turn out, man. Like I said, I think these are all potential good fights, or both potential good fights. Is that 40? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And that's where his performance is impressive. That energy, activity level, pushing at the pace, being first, not being primarily a counter puncher. He wasn't being reduced to just being a counter puncher, how he has been in the past. That wasn't the case. You know what I mean? He was forced to be a hell of a counter puncher against Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? Given Sean Porter's style. But he did a hell of a job, and that fight was damn close. But he wasn't reduced to just being a counter puncher against Benavidez. You know what I mean? He was being first, pushing the pace, like I said, controlling the range and fighting the way he wanted to fight. He spent we spent almost the entire fight fighting the fight he wanted to fight, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And that's the advantage. And salute to Garcia, credit to Team Garcia, man. They came together, and to me, it seemed like their game plan was to focus on the body. You know what I'm saying? Focus on the body, work behind his jab. Just simple shit. Just kept it simple last night. Ran up combinations when the opportunities presented themselves. He stayed safe. He was defensively responsible. I can't stress that enough. He wasn't getting hit with no big crazy shots over and over again. None of that. He was very reactive and responsive to everything Benavidez was doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? He showed that he looked fresh. St. Louis, my brother in commentary, was good with it, bro. Appreciate you. It was nice. Your facts, you feel me? That's up to my bro Yoda Wise Crush for the family that's in the building. If y'all haven't already, man, what's up to the Brody, man? Get the Brody up in 1K. So we can keep rocking. Because he can cooking too, man. We all cook over here, man. But yeah, y'all see this my second time around, man. So I was feeling like tea today, man. So just wanted to speak on this while it's still early. Like I said, you know, I did my post-fight thoughts a little earlier today. I ain't see that shit. Go check some of the replays. Then see this transpire. I see somebody right now talking about that. And then that Jake Paul fight is canceled. And another thing, yo, you are, man. You already know, man. I appreciate you, my bro. Appreciate all y'all in this building with me, man. Y'all smashed it like what if y'all did. I'm ready. Keep y'all here to my talk about this potential fight and options that Danny Garcia got. I mean, yeah, Keith Thurman, actually, you know what I'm saying? So I did hear Jake Paul and Rockman was canceled because of ticket sales. I know they making a whole big deal about the weight and stuff, but I heard something about ticket sales not being right too. And this ain't the first time I heard this when it pertains to Jake Paul. Like, I know when he promotes himself and speak about his success in boxing, everything sound on the up and up, and it sound like, everything is just going so well for him, and he's just such this bright spot for the sport of boxing. But I've heard, several times little whispers about these events not going good the way he be anticipating or leading you to believe they're doing or will do. You know what I'm saying? And this could be a result of that, because I question it and I get it, but they did it a week away from the fight. You get what I'm saying? They ain't get it closer to where they was like actually trying to do everything in their power to save the event. And I question that. And then I also question the timing of it. Yeah, man. My condolences again, my bro. For real, man. You already know, bro. Man, we hear what you like, bro. You already know it. Man, man. Yeah, I hear something about the ticket sales. And again, I felt like the timing of it too. Right when he about to fight a boxer that's actually bigger than him, that's a real boxer, active, and still young enough to like actually compete, and I don't care what he say, then the fight don't happen. And I don't care what he say, he's a hell of a showman, like a circus. Like, this is the first time to me, like as a weight, that a situation pertaining to him is frustrating to me, because it's like, man, y'all playing with boxing now, man, because it's always something with y'all. Why are you trying to shrink that man down anyway? People keep talking about he being unprofessional. Listen, I'm all for fighters making weight. Like, I get that. But it wasn't like it was his weight. You trying to drain him. Like some shit that really might not be physically healthy for this man. Let's talk about that. You want to have all these unfair advantages because, truth be told, you really don't want to challenge nobody for real. And it's starting to make me think you want to turn boxing to a sideshow and milk it. Now, it's cool. Like I said, I'm all for you getting the fighters the money. If that's what you're doing, family, that's cool. If that's what your true intent is, that's cool. But don't turn this shit into no sideshow, because the minute you about to get in there with a real boxer, his weight, this won't be a problem. Chris was good with it, bro. Appreciate you sliding through. You trying to drain this man. You trying to get this man to do some shit that's just physically unhealthy, fam. Nah, man. Nah. Not cut this shit, man. Either fight boxers or get out of boxing. I don't care who you making up. That's weak too. I don't want to hear it no more. Like, that's enough is enough. I was waiting for the one thing that was gonna happen, and here you go. Found a way to do it. Right when it's a real boxer, now the fight ain't happening. Nah, man, just do that. Then you want to get up here and make all these little TikToks, videos, man. I ain't trying to hear none of that. You try to drain that man. You should at least give him more time to see where his progress was at. That's where I'm coming from. I ain't trying to hear nothing. I ain't trying to hear none of that. Cancel is a cancel. Whether it was a few days, a week, that week just made me think you ain't really want him to try everything in his power to make the contracted week. You get what I'm saying? Get the hell out of here. He was unprofessional. You unprofessional, bro. You trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes, and everybody ain't going for it. So as well as you talking about the good you doing, don't turn boxing into no sideshow, man. You got a big ass following. Don't turn this shit into no WWE, bro. We on your ass for it, like, for real. And that's just, and again, this is just my opinion. I can't pass it off as fact. I did hear the whispers about ticket sales, and this is not the first nor second time when it's pertaining to Jake Paul and his events that he be pulling, man. You're not gonna do that, and it's just too convenient. I said we're gonna find a way, yo. I'm saying this not even on live. I'm saying this to myself, like, I hope he'll find a way not to fight. I don't want to hear nothing. That's where I be at with it. I'm tired of trying to understand all this. No. Why is it as soon as you time for you to fight somebody that might punch you in your face, and you still had a decent chance because the dude just gonna be responsible on the defensive end, but some tell me like them sparring sessions ain't go the way you want us to believe they went either. Big Queen was good, sis. Appreciate you sliding back too on the second comeback. I just here chopping it up about Keith Thurman and possibly having some options in the sport of boxing. You had Danny speak on him last night, entertaining a rematch. And he wrote a little something back on Instagram to Danny. Then that prompted Conor Benn to then jump in his comment section and say what he said to Keith Thurman. So it looked like Conor Benn won't smoke Keith. You know what I'm saying? And it looked like Keith, because of that, Keith might have some options between him being Conor Benn and Danny Garcia. So I would entertain a fight, a rematch with Danny and Keith, especially because the first one was real good. It was competitive. I can't say these dudes are completely fly. You know, Keith really got one loss. He just ain't been active to show you much. Outside of that, some people just not impressed by the barriers. Me, I know how to give the credit where it's due, but not overstated at the same time. Like, I know how to give, Danny his credit for what he did last night and not overstated. But I still understand that a fight between Keith Thurman and Danny would be good. And it's a good chance that it'd be better and more competitive than the first one. Yeah. So yeah, he might have some options, but I'll just say, like, this right here is good for boxing in terms of Keith Thurman. Like, this could be a good thing for him, because if he play his hand right and deal with the situation accordingly, he should be able to make one of these fights. That would be a relevant fight that people can actually watch. Like I said, whether it's the revisiting Danny Garcia and figuring that out at a catchweight some kind of way or whatever, being at Danny at 54. Because the way Danny went to the body last night so consistently, I would love to see a rematch to see him concentrate on Keith Thurman's body like that, because I don't know if his body will hold up to 150 some body shots. And I really do think, given where they're both at now and that energy Danny showed, it would make that fight more competitive right now. And it'd be good. It'd be a good fight. It'd be a good fight, because Keith ain't going to lay down. I know he won't. And, you crush me with you, my bro. You already know. And it'll be a good rematch. Usually I'm here for rematches, but with them circumstances, like I said, it makes sense. One coming off a long layoff, he looked sharp against a given opponent. The other one coming off a layoff, he looked decent in spots against a guy that just got his first test at welterweight, or his first taste being Barrios. Now you over that. Now it's put up a shut-up time. You and Danny Garcia, y'all making y'all last attempts and runs at a title equally. So I think it makes perfect sense for y'all to fight. And if not, like I said, not to keep, hammering the same point, but if you don't want to go up and wait, then that's okay. But just be willing to, entertain a fight with Conor Benn. That'd be a relevant fight. It'd be a fight you win, you get the respect of the people, and it'll keep you on pace and on track for where you're trying to get back to title contention. But you don't go from Barrios to Earl Spence or Crawford, none of that. So that's out the realm of possibility. The champions got business to handle up top. You continue to work your way back. It's only right. And I say you can use one of them as a stepping stone to get you there. If you smart, challenge yourself accordingly. Don't be stupid. Older, not younger. So use your brain more so than your heart and your bravado. And I think Keith Thurman could kind of salvage what's left in his career and entertain meaningful quality fights for the people. So, like I said, he got options, which is good for him. It could be good for the sport, because those fights could be entertaining fights regardless of who win or lose. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I just don't think it's no all the way guaranteed win that he beats Danny Garcia in the rematch. I just don't think that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if Danny keep that energy level where he had it. You know what I'm saying? Work with it. And he's gonna be okay. He might hang around for that 54 just a bit. Top tier, no, but he probably can hang around there just a bit. You know what I'm saying? That's how he's gonna fight. But let's see, man. Like I said, I wasn't gonna keep y'all here too long. I just had to double back again to get this out to y'all. Sound like some interesting conversations, you know what I mean? Keith Thurman and Danny rematch. Like, especially where they at. It makes sense. It'll be a good one, I think. It'll be real good where they at. They still looking to prove themselves again after already both having stellar careers and stuff like that. All the success they had, Danny's still hanging in there. He's still giving it a go. Keith Thurman, you want us to take you serious? They entertain these fights and give it a go. You know what I'm saying? I think Danny can make perfect sense. Like I said, if not, like Conor Benn, if Conor Benn and Eubank don't fight, ass, you know what I mean? Go to the UK or something and get some smoke over there. Go get you some fans or something, or whatever you want to do. think that's good for the sport, man. So hopefully we get one of these fights. And hopefully Keith Thurman share the same energy he had for Danny with Conor Benn, because ain't nobody gonna jump on my post where I'm basically down there calling somebody out or telling somebody they can't beat me, and another young buck jump on my post talking about I can't beat him. I'd be damned if I ignore that. My next post would be directed right to him, tag him. You know what I mean? It'd be an edited photo of me punching him in his shit. Quick, guys. Keith Thurman need to get on that. So I'm gonna keep my eyes on that, man. I'm gonna let y'all know if I see anything else that might transpire from this whole social media back and forth between Conor Benn, Keith Thurman, and Danny Garcia. Because like I said, man, the options are opening up. There's a lot of good fights to be made. There's a lot of good fights that still could be made before this year is out. And you know the one that we all waiting for. Hopefully we get that, and then everybody else follow suit, man. If we get that, then we're gonna have us one of the best years of boxing that we had in a long time. You know what I'm saying? Despite the little dry spot that boxing is known to have each year, that just be that one little dry area that can all be forgotten about. You know, people and the powers that be just giving us the fans and supporters the fights we need. And again, it's not just up to them. I think fighters like Keith Thurman got to be aware of where he at this point in his career. Entertain fights that make sense. You know what I'm saying? Not things that are unrealistic, like going from Barrios to Earl Spence. I don't care where you bring that. I don't give a damn. Again, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna get out of it. You entertain a fight where Earl Spence, that man say if you will drop his belt before fighting you. So I already know that's not happening. So I'm gonna kill the conversation on that. And I'm gonna also say hypothetically in the perfect world, if you did get your opportunity at him, that would be a retirement home situation for you. Stay away from Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford, and but entertain Conor Benn, Danny Garcia, and possibly Bert Ortiz if you feel going like that. You know what I'm saying? But let's see what turns out in this situation. He's smart. He's shown to be a smart guy, despite how people feel about it. I mean, he's not a dummy when it comes to the business and the sport of boxing. So hopefully he's smart enough to be in touch with reality enough to know what fight make the most logical reasonable sense for him at this point in his career, and that's the fight he goes. But so far, for these fighters that's speaking on his name and Conor Benn and Danny, I said you got two good fights right there. I said he start right there and he ain't got to look any further. Stay at welterweight, fight Conor Benn. He's looking to, play around maybe with Danny Garcia again. And you're going to have to probably meet him in the middle, and y'all going to have to figure that out. But man, that's all I got, man. I appreciate y'all coming through for the second time today, man. Y'all here too long, man. I'm going to keep my eyes close to this situation to see if anything else transpires from it, man. But I appreciate all y'all. Feel me? I smashed the like on the way out. To my family, to the JusDueBoxing family, to the TWT family. I'll be back tomorrow with another one. As always, that's all I got. Out. Peace.